Hey everybody, Arnaldo here, broadcasting from Fidelios Frequency. Welcome to my channel. As you probably saw from the thumbnail and the title of this video, today we will be talking about VinylCon. You can see the image logo also behind me. VinylCon is the event that takes place in Philadelphia twice a year, I believe. I went last year. I went to the one, I believe, in May. There was another one in November, which I did not attend. And last year I only went to one of the days, but this year I decided to take the opportunity to enjoy the weekend in Philadelphia, enjoy the food, the people, the sights, and take my time at VinylCon. It was spread over 2 days, May 10th and 11th, that is Saturday and Sunday. And before I tell you about the event, before I show you the stack of records that I purchased there at VinylCon, let's cut to some footage that I took of the event, some of the tables, the dealers, and a little bit of sights of Philadelphia as well. All of that after our intro. As you probably saw from the flip through video, there was a nice blend of offerings, a nice blend of dealers that went from either budget to moderately priced, fairly priced records, as well as some rare pieces, some very hot pieces that were very pricey. A good amount of tables. I want to say it was about 75 dealers, maybe a couple less or pretty much the same as last year. And there were also some really cool sponsors. So some of them you saw in the video, but let me remind you of some of them. One of my favorites that actually was only there for one day, and I kind of kicked myself because I forgot to get something at their table, and the following day they were not there. I'm talking about the Dust and Grooves table, and they offer this huge tome of, it's I think a 600-page book that goes over many famous or impressive vinyl collectors, and they had a 15% off discount on the book. I didn't want to buy it right away because I did not want to carry it around through the entire fair because it's quite heavy. I exited the venue only to come back and find out that they had already packed up for the day because I remembered towards the end. But I did snag a couple of postcards, which they were giving away for free, of some of the images that are in their book, some of these really impressive collections. This one is a guy from Germany. I think his name is Glass Breiler. And probably the most famous one, maybe one of the biggest record collections in the world, and that is the one from Questlove, who is from Philadelphia. Questlove, for those of you who don't know, is the drummer of The Roots, producer, filmmaker. He's done a little bit of everything now. There are two other sponsors and brands of the event that offer, let's just say, enhancements to music, and they were able to also offer some really cool gadgets that were vinyl related. So for those of you that do partake in cannabis, there was this company called Rhythm offering a slip mat, as well as a lanyard. Well, I don't know how music related a lanyard is, but they were there promoting their brands and their different flavors, let's call it, of cannabis. And I found some of these stickers that were representative of some of the flavors. You had Afternoon Delight and Brownie Scout, as well as Animal Face. If you don't partake in cannabis, there's something else that you may partake in that kind of enhances or makes music, the fruition of music, a little bit more enjoyable, and those are the spirits. Crown Royal had a really nice presence, a really nice slip mat. I think this one's better than the Rhythm slip mat, nice and thick, a really nice color as well. And they were offering 7-inch adapters, so that's always good to have, right? Comes in very handy. And then there were other sponsors that, like BCW, they offer record sleeves. They were also selling there, and I saw them last year. I see them at several events throughout the tri-state area, and that is Women in Vinyl. Always love to see Amanda there, who is representing at the table. So those were just a few of the sponsors that made VinylCon possible, along with the organizer of the event, and that is Kobe, who actually invited me this year to attend. I actually met him last year at WFMU and stayed in touch, so it was great to catch up with him while I was there at VinylCon. And now let me show you the records that I picked up over the course of 2 days there at VinylCon. Starting off, I think this was probably the first purchase I made at a dealer called Sit and Spin. I had seen a preview, a flip-through video on Instagram of this vendor, and he was one of the first tables that I went to, and I picked up some really nice things, 2 UK pressings and 1 US. The first one I've been looking for quite a bit for this one, and that is the UK pressing of Tears for Fears songs from the Big Chair. Really nice with the hype sticker, and more importantly, apart from the fact that it sounds fantastic, I I want to say VG++ or maybe near mint condition. It also comes with a picture in the sleeve, which the American version did not come with. So glad to have found that one, along with another UK pressing. This one, the first album by Kate Bush. And yeah, this one doesn't come with an inner sleeve because all the credits and lyrics are on the back, but it does come in the original EMI label and the yellow and red one. And then finally at Sit and Spin, I picked up a US version because I wanted this specific cover. As you probably know, I'm a big fan of David Bowie, and I did not have this. I have other versions of it, but I did not have a version of Space Oddity. Let's call it his second album after his self-titled. Also in different editions, this was called David Bowie as well, but happy to get this one. It's the second cover that was used for Space Oddity. The nice thing is that apart from the fact that it is in excellent condition, comes with like a mint inner sleeve as well as the poster. Doesn't come with the hype sticker, but I guess you can't have it all. But let me show you the poster that comes inside. So very happy to have picked that up at Sit and Spin. The next two records that I picked up were from a dealer whose name escapes me. I think I paid in cash, so I don't have a record of the transaction. But I was very happy to find a mint condition of Dead Can Dance Spirit Chaser. This one is the mobile fidelity version, comes in the gatefold, which the original did not come in gatefold, and really nice edition. I never got this as a UK copy, a little harder to find because it's one of their later albums. So until I find one of those, I hear that this version by MoFi is excellent. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Haven't listened to it yet, but just by judging the cover and the condition of the vinyl, it looks like it was hardly ever played. And at the same dealer, I found another near mint copy of an album that I had a previous copy, which I had to sell because it didn't sound very well, because I think it was well loved, let's call it like that. But this one hardly played. I could tell because pulling the when I was inspecting it, it was really hard to pull the records out of the sleeves, which indicated that they probably never had been taken out of the sleeves or listened to. I listened to it and my assumption was correct. It sounds like no one ever played this record. So really happy to find a copy, a near mint copy of Michael Jackson's Dangerous album. I want to say a very underrated album. Yeah, it does have a couple of tracks that probably would have been, I would have chosen to have left off, and it would have made this album perfect, but happy to get a really nice clean copy of Dangerous. And now two one-offs. Both of these records were purchased from two different dealers. One from a dealer that I had seen at WFMU last year in November. His name is Yao. I bought quite a few things from him, and he always has very interesting picks, a lot of UK pressings, and I was very happy to find, because I rarely see it around and at an excellent price, Primal Screams. I think this is their third or fourth album, Give Out, But Don't Give In, and this was in excellent condition, maybe a little worn on the edges up top, but the gatefold version and the album does sound fantastic. It does come with the two picture inner sleeves that you see here, but unfortunately I made a rookie mistake. I looked at the Discogs listing to make sure it was the correct version, the UK version with the matrix information correct. I glossed over the fact that it was supposed to come also with a print 12 by 12 insert of the image of the front cover, but oh well. What's important are the records, and I got it at a great price, great condition. After all, the 12-inch print, you don't play the print, right? You play the records. And at another dealer, Really cool. He was there with his mom, and I had seen him last year at VinylCon. I believe I picked up a few things from him. His name is Nick, and you probably saw his table in the flip through. And I got a really nice UK version, first version, near mint condition of The Cure's second album, 17 Seconds, with the textured sleeves and the custom labels. So really happy to buy that. Another dealer that I've mentioned in the past, other record fairs that I visited when I was in Asbury Park, I got something from him. When I go to the Long Island Music Lovers Fair, either in Garden City or in Massapequa, I always end up getting something from Michael Overn, or at WFMU. He goes by Vinyl Rescue, and he almost always has a gem or a UK pressing that I really am looking for. And he didn't fail this time. I picked up 2 records from him. The first one is a UK pressing of one of my favorite David Bowie albums, and that is Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. This one, I was surprised actually, because I have a US pressing of it, and it comes with an inner sleeve, which has, I think it's in black and white, or maybe there could be a couple of color pictures with credits and lyrics. The UK does not have that type of inner sleeve, but it basically reproduces on an insert what is in the US. It's a fold-out insert in the US pressing. The other interesting find was a 12-inch single that I don't see very often. You guys probably know that I love the band Suede, and this is a single from their Dogman Star album, their masterpiece. The song is The Wild Ones, backed with a very interesting version of the opening track of Dogman Star, which is introducing the band, and it's called Eno's Introducing. Very atmospheric, you gotta listen to it. It's about 10 minutes long. Very ambient, I'd have to say. But the important part of this is that it is the numbered version, as you see here, and it has the limited edition print, which is also embossed. I don't know if you can see here the embossing. And the last dealer that I purchased from, I had visited his table on the first day. I decided to go back because he had quite a few interesting things. He had some very high-priced records, but he probably had one of the best budget tables, and also a box of 45s. I typically don't flip through boxes of 45s, especially if they're not picture sleeve. I just find it too overwhelming and a bit time consuming. But it was towards the end of the day. I had seen everything that I wanted to see, bought everything that I wanted to buy, so I had plenty of time to kill. So I was flipping through this box of 45s, and I came up with some really cool things. The first thing, one of my favorite Marvin Gaye songs, it was still sealed in a very interesting type of shrink wrap. It's called Golden Hits, and as you can see, at the time they were 3 for $1, and they're by this company called Sutton Record Company, which I believe purchased cutouts and would then repackage them and sell them at gasoline stations for a cheaper price. And as you can see here, this copy of I Heard It Through the Grapevine has like a little punch hole through it. So this was mint condition, fantastic. Glad I was able to find this. And then a couple other really nice finds in 45, 2 Aretha Franklin 45s, I Never Loved a Man, as well as Chain of Fools, both with the Atlantic generic sleeves. And finally, another classic R&B, it was called Funk, on the King label, and that is Papa's Got a Brand New Bag by James Brown. And like I said, he had a nice blend of really hot, very hot records, very high priced records, but he had, I want to say, like 5 or 6 boxes and bins of cheaper records, and he was running a sale. All the $5 records were 2 for $5, so that means buy one, get one, and all the $10 records were 2 for $10, buy one, get one. And I picked up some things that were in great condition, and they have at least a couple of songs that I like, so I could not pass off the opportunity to get Kim Carnes' Mistaken Identity with the classic Betty Davis Eyes, but it also has Draw of the Cards. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Draw of the Cards and Mistaken Identity. And I Need You to Miss You Tonight. That's another song. So this had quite a few songs on it, so I always enjoy this. And then I've passed this around so many times. I never picked it up. I figured, why not? 2 for $5. So the Lowdown, Bozgags. This one is called Silk Degrees. Thank you. And 2 of the 2 for $10. So $5 each. Could not pass up to complete. I think I'm complete now except for one album. My Eurythmics collection, both US pressings. First one is V2R1, and then the soundtrack, 1984. So really happy to add those as well. And that wraps up my overview of VinylCon in Philadelphia. There will be a much bigger VinylCon on the West Coast in LA. So for those of you on the West Coast and in LA, mark your calendar for August 23rd and 24th. VinylCon will be landing there. There may or may not be a fall event as well, again in Philadelphia. There was one last year, but I don't know for sure yet. And I wanted to thank Kobe once again for inviting me to VinylCon. It was a fun show. Definitely will go back again next year. Thank you so much for watching the channel, for subscribing. If you haven't done so, click that subscription button. For your likes or your dislikes, feel free also to leave a comment. That's all for today. I guess I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.